Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Precious Rutlin. I am a certified trichologist, also known as the hair regrowth doctor. Today I wanted to jump in and answer a question that came in to me. So I'm going to read it. It's concerning a woman's hair problem. So she's now 62, and when she was about 40, she went through a lot of stress. At that time, she was redoing her house that was destroyed by renters, and she got a condition on her scalp, and it got some scaly things around it. It was very itchy, and she scratched it, and of course, she picked at those things. And she said her hair started falling out on the top of her head. It is now very thin. The condition covers most of her head, and it started to creep down to the back of her neck and again to the top of her forehead. So she said for some months it went away, but it went away for several months, but it came back. But it left her with hair loss, which never came back, and she still has the itchy scalp. So there's a lot here for me to unpack, so I'm just gonna go step by step. And so first off, I'm going to give you a couple of solutions so you can have at least some relief right now with your hair, as far as just managing it, and just something to do in the interim as we focus on getting your health and emotions together. So with that, I would recommend right now either getting a hair unit or a wig to cover where those spots that are really thinned out for you, just to give you a fuller look, to help you feel normal again and feel whole. And then second, again, we would definitely want to focus on your health and your emotions. We have to first deal with what's going on the inside of your body, so we can start to at least focus on getting that hair environment, creating a healthy hair environment. And we know that hair growth starts from within. And then third, since you still have the condition, it may just be dormant for right now. If you want a peace of mind, you can reach out to a dermatologist for them to do a scalp biopsy, and you can get some confirmation there to find out again if the condition's still there and what type of hair loss that you do have. Or what you can do is schedule a consultation with me, and I can get on the phone with you. I can have you send me some of your hair sample, and I can go in and look at your follicles for you and help you with the plan moving forward as far as the type of hair loss you may be experiencing, and what we can do holistically, again, to get your health back together. So that's what you can do right now to get some immediate relief and just get a peace of mind. Okay, so now I want to unpack this, because there was a lot going on here, and as me being a trichologist and just getting in tune with what you said, there's a lot going on here. So I just want to point this out to you, and this can possibly help someone else that has experienced a similar situation to you. So the first thing that immediately jumped out to me was the time lapse. So your hair loss started at about age 40, and so now you're age 62. So that's a 22-year difference, time period. And had you got on top of that hair loss right when you noticed it to start thinning, or you noticed to start to have the symptoms, it could have been possible to tackle that and hopefully prevent from the damage that it has done so far. And so that's one of the things that I like to teach is, as soon as you notice something's wrong with your hair cycle, you're starting to experience conditions, you have to go see about it. It won't just stop on its own. You can't just put treatments or start taking supplements or putting oils on it just from something that you Googled or YouTubed. Not knocking anything, because Google and YouTube, they are very helpful. But when you have conditions like this and it's persistent and it's going on for a while, that should send up a flag to you that, hey, you need to go look into this. Now, second, you went in and you talked about stress. And stress is a huge contributor to hair loss, but it's not the reason why your hair will come out. It's not the reason why you'll experience hair loss or hair thinning. So I really want to make sure that we have an understanding that stress does not physically cause your hair to come out. It contributes to it, but it's not a factor that your hair is going to come out. Next, now you said that you had the scaly scalp and it was very itchy. So to me, that sounds like it was autoimmune related, and I'm going to tell you why I think that in a minute. And then also you pointed out that it progressed, so it started to cover your entire head, and then it also went down to the back of your neck, and then you said that it left you with some permanent, or no, you said that it left you with hair loss since it's been gone and it's never come back, and then you're still addressing with the itchy scalp. So the reason why I say I believe it's autoimmune related is because it seemed like it's a flare up, and it seems like it could have something to do with your IgE receptors, because it focused on one particular part of your body, and then with a flare up, because of you picking at it, that exasperated the problem and made the itching worse. So you had that inflammation going on. So when we have inflammation on our scalp, it's going to really just intensify. And then the more that you're digging your nails in and then you're scratching your scalp, you're not relieving anything. It's just going to make it itch, and constantly you're going to just keep repeating the cycle. Okay, so let's jump into this. First, I want to say that stress is nothing more than a perception, and I really love how my coach, she explains it to me. She's very good with words, and she tells me all the time, she says, Precious, stress is nothing until we make it something. I'm going to pause there, and I want you to think about what I just said. Stress is nothing until we make it something. I'm going to say it one more time. Stress is nothing until we make it something. Stress is all about in our mind, it's in our perception. So if we look at something and we perceive it to be a threat, oh, this stresses me out, then guess what? It's going to stress you out because you're perceiving it as a threat instead of really looking at the situation in its whole, in its entirety, really coming to the truth about it. Is it physically damaging me? Is it physically harming me right now? Or can this be resolved? So instead of saying, okay, I don't like this, I don't like how it's making me feeling, how can I address this so that it doesn't annoy me or irritate me, we just let things fester and bubble up, not saying things or how we feel and not communicating. So that in turn has an effect on all of our organ systems and so forth. Now, so if the immune system is compromised, then the antibodies that we make, they're called immunoglobulins. And that's what I was referring to earlier when we have those IgE receptors. Immunoglobulins, they stimulate our T cell and our B cells. And so that is what I was getting into when I was stating that it's an autoimmune related. So for instance, I'm quite sure you may have heard of immunoglobulins, but basically our bodies will produce these when we feel or when our body senses that it is under attack, that it is being assaulted in some way. So our body makes 5 immunoglobulins antibodies, and you may have heard them. They're IgA, IgD, IgG, IgE, and IgM. And that again stands for immunoglobulins. And then there's A, D, G, E, and M. So I bring this up because with our IgE antibodies, we have receptors everywhere. And our IgE antibodies, when you have symptoms, in her case like she did, in this case, it was more of a flare-up. Think of it as, like, let me just pause for a minute. So the reason why I say it's IgE, autoimmune. So for instance, like for those that may have gone to get an allergy test, and you know how sometimes they prick your skin, and we come back and see, you know, what has welted up, what has shown. Well, they do that because the IgE receptors, we have them everywhere on our body. But IgE receptors, they're specifically relating to, like, for instance, when we have a group of symptoms. So you could probably like have hives, psoriasis, eczema, any type of severe skin conditions. These things will flare up. And so when you see a group of series of symptoms like that together, then that means more than likely it's something going on with your IgE immunoglobulins. And so that is what alerted me to that is something that should have been looked at, or needs to be looked at in her case, again, because she had all those symptoms and it seemed to just only focus on her scalp and then to the back of her neck. So again, when you looking at IgE, the protein, the antibodies, it was trying to protect her because she had a flare up, and it was just a group of symptoms all just focused on that one area. So that is why I say we should have looked into that, and it's possibly immune related. So I do hope that what I have talked about today gives you some insight, and that it definitely answers your question. And for anyone else that is watching this video, I pray that it has helped you and give you some insight, give you some things to think about that I've talked about. For those of you that are interested and you need some help, please feel free to reach out to me. I do have some time available on my calendar. I will make sure I put the link below. But this is what I do. I do comprehensive hair and health assessments, and I do a deep dive into not only your hair, but I look at your component as a whole person holistically. So I'm looking at your health, I'm looking at your lifestyle, and then based off of there, I put together a customized regimen specifically for you. So nobody else is going to have your regimen, because I look at you biochemically and I look at, okay, this is your genetic makeup, so this is what you need to do specifically. So everything I do is tailor and customize. We can do your consultation over the phone. And if you're not local, don't worry about it. I also can work with you virtually. And like they say, it's always more than one way to skin a cat. Okay, guys, I pray that you enjoyed this video. And let me see, do I have anything else? That is it. Please be sure to like and share this video. We need more people getting educated and getting help with their hair. Hair loss and hair thinning is very embarrassing. People just don't know what to do about it. They have questions, they don't know who to ask, and so I am a resource for them. Thank you so much. For those that don't know me, again, my name is Precious Rutlin. I am a certified trichologist, also known as the hair growth doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and follow this channel. All right, take care.